Hey friends, it's Marie here at Nicole Designs. Thanks for joining me again today. I'm doing a video showing some items and crafty things from scrapbook.com. I'm going to be using this Magical Day stamp set. It's got a few icons here and lots of great sentiments and titles that you can use on maybe a photo journal or a scrapbook album, but I thought I would make a really fun card with this today. So I'm going to go ahead and put some paper into my mini MISTI. I'm taking that castle image there and I'm going to stamp this out, and I'm using some black hybrid ink from scrapbook.com. Now this black hybrid ink, since it's a hybrid ink, it's going to dry fairly quickly, and it's also going to be permanent once dry. So you can use it with alcohol markers, you can use this with colored pencils, watercolors, whatever you want to use, and those lines are not going to smear as long as they are completely dry. I'm using my stamp image here with some alcohol markers. I'm just going to do some really simple coloring here on my little castle. I'm going to make it a nice colorful castle today. I'm using a few different shades of blue to just kind of color the roofs, and I'm doing some really simple shading here. I'm not really blending these together very much. I'm kind of just putting a light layer down, a mid-tone layer down, and that darker layer in the corner, and you can kind of see where each color separates. So it's just a different way to color if you want to experiment with your alcohol markers. And this is a smaller image, so you don't need to try to worry about too much shading. So I just kind of colored it very simply, gave it some blue roofs and a door, and colored the castle itself pink, because why not? Why not have a pink castle, right? So I'm going to go ahead and finish coloring this, and then I did fussy cut it with some fussy cutting scissors, and I just cut it out so that I could put it on top of a background that I'm going to make with some stencils. So there's my little castle all cut out. It took a few minutes to kind of cut around all those little flags, but it is possible to do. I'm going to use a sentiment down on the bottom, so I kind of just wanted to eyeball where I wanted to put that. And then having the castle put there helped me kind of figure out where I want to start ink blending my background. I'm going to take some of my scrapbook.com ink here and just apply it straight to the background. I'm using some light sky blue with an ink blending tool, and I'm just putting some light blue behind where the castle is going to be. And you can see I have a line down there on the bottom. I'm not putting any more ink down on the bottom. That's where the sentiment is going to go. I just wanted to make a background behind my castle. So I'm eyeballing it. I like the way that looks, and I'm going to move in with my stencil. Now this is scrapbook.com's Mum's Stencil. I thought it looked kind of like fireworks, and so I thought that would be fun to kind of repurpose it a little bit to put these bursts behind the castle. So I'm going in with some more ink that is the same color that I used for the black background, but I'm ink blending right over there, so you're going to get some of these darker blue firework images. And then I'm also going to put a little bit of this gold glitter paste from Nuvo and make a few of these gold fireworks. And so I'm just kind of singling out a few of these flower stencil areas and just applying my inks and my glitter paste to make it look like some fireworks just bursting behind that castle. I thought that would be really fun. Now, if you don't have gold glitter paste, but you wanted to add a little bit of shine, you could always go ahead and put some embossing ink over this stencil and then emboss that image or that design with some gold embossing powder if you wanted to do that as well. Maybe practice on a few pieces of scrap paper first so you can kind of get a feel of how to apply ink onto a stencil, embossing ink onto a stencil, but it can be done. I've done it before, and it's a really fun technique. So I've got some more fireworks going on there. I'm going to let that dry, and now I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. So I'm going for that big sentiment on the bottom there. I'm going to stamp that down on the bottom of my card with some embossing ink, and then go ahead and emboss it in gold so I can bring some more of that gold out of those fireworks. just wanted a really fun, magical kind of card here. I think this would be a great card to give to someone to announce to them that you might be going on a certain vacation. I really think that would be a really fun thing to do. Or you can use these sentiments and images on a scrapbook layout or an album layout or something, just to preserve those memories of your special vacation. So there's a lot of different uses for this stamp set. There are some really fun sentiments in there, some really fun titles that you can add to photos and things and journaling. So I think this is a really great stamp set to preserve those vacation memories. So like I said, I'm stamping out this sentiment using some VersaMark embossing ink, and I'm also going to emboss it in gold using some Nuvo gold embossing powder. So you just stamp it out with your ink and then sprinkle on some of that embossing powder over that sentiment that you stamped out. Just tap off any of that extra powder there, and I use it over a coffee filter. That's how I do my embossing, so that I can just kind of pick up my coffee filter and just dump it back into the bottle to use again. So once you have your embossing powder applied, go ahead and hit it with your heat tool, melt that powder, and you have a really shiny embossed sentiment. So now that my background is done, all I need to do really is to put the castle onto my card front. So I'm using some of these smaller foam shapes from scrapbook.com. They have these little circle shapes that are foam adhesive, double-sided, and I'm just picking them out with my craft pick and adding them to my castle. Now, since I have some really tiny areas on my castle, I want to kind of cut a few of these foam circles down and put them behind my flags. So you can cut them down even tinier if you need to. I just wanted to make sure to add some support behind my castle so it doesn't get all crunched up if I end up mailing it through the mail. Once you have your foam adhesive in place, just go ahead and peel off that backing paper. And I do really appreciate that the foam adhesive from scrapbook.com has backing paper that peels off fairly easy. So I don't like to sit there and mess with backing paper. Y'all know that if you watch my videos. So I really appreciate foam adhesive that comes off the backing paper quite easily. So I'm going to go ahead and center my castle here and just gently press it down so that it sticks. And that's basically my card. You can see how shiny it is when you tip it in the light. I'm using a little bit more of scrapbook.com's foam adhesive to add to the back of my card front. And then I'm just going to put it down onto my card base and just pop it up a little bit. You might notice that I've made the edges, the border there, slightly smaller than my card base, so I have a nice little matting going on, and that finishes the card. You could add some sequins to the background if you wanted to. I decided not to, and as I was staging this to oh, actually, I did put some sequins on there now that I see that. So you can absolutely do that as well. I'm actually adding some glitter to the roof of my castle here using some scrapbook.com glitter brush marker. And I did this as I was staging my card to photograph it. And I thought, why not just turn on the camera and show you guys how you can brush this glitter back on. And really easy to do. It dries really quickly and it is super shiny. So I'm just going to go ahead here and put my props into place. I like to use my card making supplies as props, just gather them around and take photos. So that's today's card. Thanks for stopping by. I'll have links to all the things below. If you haven't already, make sure you like, subscribe, share, tap the bell for notification. Just do all the things. I'll catch you guys next time. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.